Paradigms, mental models, and mindsets are three phenomena that heavily influence the way we see the world. And the way we see things influences what we put our attention to, what we advocate for, what we choose to ignore. And all of this influences the culture in your organization. In this video, we'll dig into paradigms in more detail to fully appreciate their influence on your leadership and therefore on your organizational culture and outcomes. I'm Samantha McGolrick, and welcome to our little corner of the internet, where I help purpose-driven board members drive systemic change and make a positive impact on the health, happiness, and resilience of society. In a previous video, I proposed that if your board wants to ensure that members are open to learning from significant events that happen in other organizations, so as to not miss red flags in their own, we need to revisit our paradigms, mental models, and mindsets, and importantly, know which ones we can no longer rely on. These three phenomena are often used interchangeably, but they are different, yet interconnected. And together, they can become an insurmountable and impenetrable barrier to change. It's proposed that each of these phenomena reinforce the other, and together they inform our behavior. They're pretty powerful. So in this video, we're going to take a better look at paradigms. What are they? And what are the two dominant or controlling paradigms in our boardrooms? A paradigm is a combination of concepts, values, perceptions, and practices that are shared by a community and form their perception of reality. And this paradigm then informs how they organize themselves. A paradigm is a group phenomenon. It's quite similar to culture. In his book, The Third Wave, Toffler described three types of societies based on the concept of waves. Now, each wave pushes the older societies and cultures aside. Each wave was actually the dominant or controlling paradigm of its time. For example, while we have moved through many different organizational theories over the last century, our understanding of how work gets done has been guided by classical mechanics, or a linear thinking worldview. Linear thinking suggests that things happen in a straight line. That is, one thing causes the next thing, which causes the next thing, and so on. It's often described in terms of causation as event A causes event B, which causes event C. You get the picture. It's a fairly simplistic mechanical way of thinking. So when you apply linear thinking to the way our work gets done, there's an assumption that our work or the system in which we work is not complex. That is, you could reduce or break down how work gets done into parts or steps across departments or teams that line up in a sequential fashion, suggesting that task A in this team will influence how task B is done in this team, and that influences the work of task C in another team, and so on. But does that sound like a true picture of how work gets done in your organization? Linear thinking is often associated with a Newtonian view of the way things operate. The key thing about the Newtonian view is that the world is a machine that is based on simple principles, meaning that our work and the way our organization or the system works is simple. And we're not talking about whether your organizational structure or processes or your governance framework is complicated, because complicated and complex are not synonyms. Complicated problems can be hard to solve, but they are addressable with rules and recipes, like the algorithms that place ads on your LinkedIn or Facebook feeds. Complicated problems can be resolved with systems and processes, like the hierarchical structure that most companies use to command and control employees. So I'm not talking about complicated, talking about complexity. And the Newtonian view suggests that our work is not complex. You might compare the Newtonian view to classical organizational theory and scientific management and administrative theories of organizational behavior, because they too undervalue the interconnectedness and the interdependence between humans and their environment and technology. And these are the things that make our work and how our organization operates complex. And this is important to keep in mind. Solutions to complicated problems, which can include linear thinking, don't work as well, if at all, with complex problems. Complex problems involve too many unknowns, and too many interrelated factors to reduce the solution down to rules and procedures. A technological disruption like blockchain is a complex problem. A competitor with an innovative business model like Uber or Airbnb are complex problems. There's no algorithm or rule that will tell anyone exactly how to respond to these emerging business models or technological disruption, or explain how they came to fruition by looking at a sequence of events. For example, we can't put the emergence of Airbnb down to event A caused event B, which caused event C, and there you go, you have Airbnb. No, Airbnb emerged from various factors, such as the need for those going on holiday to want instant access to book accommodation, the needs of homeowners to hire out a room or a guest unit as a means to bring in extra cash flow, or changes in technology that made apps commonplace, making it logical for people to book accommodation through an app. And there's a lot of other environmental, cultural, and technological reasons that the world became a melting pot for companies like Uber and Airbnb. The key takeaway in terms of understanding complexity versus linear thinking is that you can't boil down how these companies came to fruition through a simple sequence of events. And there's no algorithm or rule that will tell you or any of us exactly how to respond to these emerging business models. What is really key to understand here is how organizations work and how work gets done. Because linear thinking or a Newtonian worldview oversimplifies the systems in which we work and the various factors that influence how we work. Linear thinking doesn't account for how we are all addressing goal conflict on a daily, if not hourly basis, such as being efficient but thorough while being safe, or taking time for coaching and leadership versus meeting production targets or incentives. Our work is also influenced by the limited resources we're often working with, and a web of relationships that exist inside and outside our organization that inform our priorities. These relationships might be personal, professional, organizational, societal. They're all the little things that cause us to think twice before taking action. And they ensure that our work is not done in a linear fashion. It's more circular in nature and dynamic, where everything is interconnected. The circular nature of how work is done is a characteristic of complex systems. And in complex systems, interactions between all the parts in the system and the actors with their environment are non-linear, which guarantees that a small event over here can produce large results over here. And it's why we need to account for the influence that the board can have on people's decision-making or how work gets done. Because in complex systems, your decisions in the boardroom, which might be considered insignificant or small, can have a significant influence on the organizational climate, and therefore the culture, and therefore outcomes. Now, the good thing is New Age, or what's called modern organizational theory, proposes that an organization is a system that changes with the changes in its environment, both its internal and external environment. And the system's behavior, that is how things get done, and the structures and processes that exist will emerge from all the collective interactions between all the actors in the system and from their environment. And it's that emergent behavior that we need to understand to appreciate how work really gets done and the board's influence. This is systems thinking, which is increasingly becoming the dominant paradigm of understanding how work gets done and how to solve complex problems that are rooted in uncertainty. Okay, now that we have a general understanding of paradigms and the two dominant or controlling paradigms, tune in next week when I talk about mental models and mindsets that fall out of these paradigms and how they influence your decision-making and your organizational culture. As always, I hope this has helped you in your quest to know what to ask and when to act. Be brave and stay true to your commitment to lead from the heart, and I am confident you will reap the rewards. I'll see you in the next video.
Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, I would love it if you click that subscribe button to help my content rise to the top so that others can enjoy it as well.